Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Goddess Guidance. It is me, your goddess, Hestia Amora, the voice from the divine realm. And welcome to season two of our show. How exciting is that? How exciting. It has been a long year, y'all. It has been a long year, but it has been a year of profound revelation. It has been a year of powerful discernment. It has been a year of faith and confidence. It has been a transformative year that I would not give up for anything, because without this year, and I'm pretty sure this goes for so many of you too, without this year, we would have not known the warrior status in which we carry, because it oftentimes takes for us to go through immense struggle to understand just how powerful and fantastic and amazing we actually are. So let's just give ourselves just a round of applause just for making it through, honey, to another season of Goddess Guidance. So without further ado, love that cute intro. One more thing, please be sure to follow me on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and especially here on YouTube at I am Hestia Amora. I am Hestia Amora. Okay, now moving on. Without further ado. So we're here today to talk about tapping into your intuition, how you can do that, what that looks like, and all the things, right? And tapping into your intuition is actually something that I've learned from other people. It's quite difficult for individuals to do. Even for me, although I am an extremely intuitive individual, it is also sometimes difficult for me to even believe the things that are happening and the nudges and the feelings I am feeling around me. And the first reason why we oftentimes tend to discredit our own intuition is because we forget that life is spiritual. We get so bogged down by this third dimensional world. We get so bogged down by everything that we can see, right? Because if you can see it, you can touch it, it makes sense. It's tangible. It is tangible to you. It is tangible to everyone else. It is clear. It makes sense. It's understandable. Cool. But now when we have to start getting into areas that are unknown and unseen, areas that don't necessarily make sense to the physical eye, but may make sense to the spiritual eye, that is when we tend to get tripped up a little bit, because we have a hard time believing in what we cannot see, which is understandable, but it becomes more understandable when you understand that life is spiritual as much as it is physical. We are living in two realms, in two worlds at the very same time. Just because you can see something doesn't particularly mean that the other person next to you can see it. They can see something completely different than what you're seeing, because life is spiritual. One person may have a very spiritual eye and another person may have a very physical eye, but that's why as people and as community, we have to come together so we can all see what is going on. But again, oftentimes it gets difficult for people to see and to understand because we forget that life is spiritual. And in addition to that, we also forget that we are spirits having a human experience. We forget that we are spirits having a human experience. Oftentimes, because we are so bogged down in this physical world, we are very much so looking at what we look like in our face and our skin and our hair and our clothes and our makeup and our jewelry and the house we have and the car we drive and all the material things in life. We get so caught up and we get so bogged down by those things that we forget that, yes, we are called on this physical plane to enjoy life, to have a human experience, to enjoy the things that we can touch and we can feel and the pleasures of life. Yes, those things are extremely, extremely important. And we also need to note that we are spirit having a human experience. And in being spirit having a human experience, we also have to feed in a healthy way our spiritual essence. And we neglect that so much because we're so busy focusing on what's going on in this third dimensional world. So we're not necessarily attending to our spiritual needs. We're not attending to our intuition. We're not working on crafting and honing our intuition. We're not working on our faith life, our spiritual life. There are so many things that we are neglecting. There are so many things that we are neglecting because we are forgetting the truth, the raw truth of who we are, which are spirits having a human and divine experience on this interesting but beautiful plane that we live on. The third thing is that oftentimes we tend to trust other people before we trust ourselves. We prefer to trust everyone else instead of ourselves. It is important for us to seek validation from other people. It is important for us to seek approval from other people. It is important for us to get a yay or a nay for other people to ensure that we are doing the right thing. And sometimes that's essential, and sometimes that is important, especially when you need wisdom, especially when there is a need to seek a sight greater than yours, right? But a trusted sight, a very much so trusted sight of someone that you know for a fact loves you and who doesn't desire to sabotage you and who doesn't desire to harm you. It is important to make sure that we are seeking wisdom from those who have come before us or even those who are younger than us, because honey, sometimes the babies are the ones that teach us the most. We forget that. We forget that the babies are the ones that tend to teach us the most. I digress though. I digress, but we tend to trust everyone else but ourselves. We tend to trust every voice but our own voice. And that becomes detrimental because oftentimes when we are tapped into our spiritual essence, our spiritual self, that means that we are also tapped into our highest self. And then that also means we are also tapped into our higher power. So most of the time, our higher power will be the energy that comes through to us in the form of a thought, in the form of a nudge, in an intuitive feeling within the body. But if we are getting a yes within our body, if we are getting a strong yes within our body, but then someone outside of us is telling us no, oftentimes we go with that no. We have to learn to find balance between this concept of seeking external validation while also understanding that it is important for us to believe who we are and believe that the signals that we are getting from the universe, the signals that we are getting from the Most High are accurate and they are correct. And the last thing that I would say in reference to knowing how and to understand how and to really cultivate more how you can tap into your intuition is never doubt your downloads. Never doubt your downloads, because oftentimes we doubt them because they came out of nowhere. I mean, the things that have just come out of nowhere to me, it's just like, wait, there is no way in HE double hockey sticks that what I was just told or what just came to me was accurate, because it came out of nowhere. And honestly, what came to me has nothing to do with where I currently am and what I'm currently doing. So yeah, it gets really interesting. It gets really interesting to believe your downloads are just like random pieces of information that come to you. It gets really difficult to believe those things because why would they be true? Where is this coming from? Why am I getting this download about this random person or this random situation or, but what I will say, and the thing that I have learned the most and the thing that has carried me through life thus far, I would rather believe it to be true and be safe than believe it's not true and be in danger. And with that, I wish nothing but greater intuition, greater intuitive insight, greater spiritual guidance to all of you. Until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.